I'm confused. Are they breaking raid farms? Yes, because of the requirement to drink the ominous bottle and then wait 30 seconds, you won't be able to chain raids together infinitely, which might be great from a gameplay perspective, but it's confusing from a lore perspective because you have to murder a dude and then his family won't get mad at you until you drink some weird evil potion that he dropped. Speaking of drop, Mojang dropped something huge on us this week because they said that the new Trial Chamber Challenge was going to be the final 1.21 feature exclusive to snapshots for now. This changes a lot of people's perception of the update, and it means that features like the fletching table that you might have been hoping for will in fact be collecting dust for another year, which is especially funny because when Mojang brought out the fletching table, they said they decided not to add functionality to these blocks as they want to make sure they're useful for overall gameplay, but they have a great idea for them for the next major themed update, and that was in 2019, and it's now confirmed the 2024 update will not be having it, so you know, this idea is going to be really good, but we'll have to wait for the next update. At this point, I could probably just be really unhelpful and tell you, yes, that includes bundles, but I think it'd be more useful to work out what it is that Mojang means by the final 1.21 feature, because immediately you might hear that and think nothing's coming for the next couple of months before the update releases, it's all just going to be bug fixes from here, but instead I figured it'd be more useful to look at last year's update and see what it is they did. So take this snapshot from last year, 23W12A, this is the last feature snapshot for that update, and it added calibrated skulk sensors, sniffer eggs, suspicious gravel, trail ruins, and more armor trims and pottery shards. In other words, it was a similarly big update, the last big content drop, but then just a week later, 23W14A brought out a new logo, as well as some bug fixes, and then a few weeks after that, there was a brand new music disc, new music, and in general, they seem to be making changes even though they were finished with the major features, and so that is what I would expect could be possible for this update, especially because we still don't know the name of it yet. That is one of the two big reasons. I think not knowing what 1.21 is called, I think it'd be funny if, like how they announced Trails and Tales last year, they went for Trials and Tiles, but it could also work as Trials and Vials or anything else they're going to announce. When they announce the name, I think that is going to be a big deal, but also we have the big Minecraft 15th year anniversary, and that would be a great time to make an announcement to try and get some positive news for Minecraft, because otherwise, so far, all we've seen is that they're going to be doing a marketplace promotion. No outlet is going to care that you get 20% off a weird hat for your skin. No one is going to care about anything unless they make either some fun new exclusive map to download, or if they have a similarly big announcement for the base game, whichever one they come round to. Theoretically, they could also bundle in all of their other announcements about Minecraft to date, but yeah, basically what we know about this is it's May 17th, Minecraft's 15th year anniversary. You'll probably want to be around at that time, and speaking of dates, I think it probably is time we start to talk about the date of 1.21. It's a big video I make every year, and I think that this year it has been one of the most obvious release dates we've had in a while, but we'll come back to that after we talk about something more cement, because rather than talking about additional features in this update, whether you'll get them or not, let's talk about that last feature, which is effectively a hard mode to Trial Chambers, as Shoes for Clues puts it, and they are all for that. I totally agree, it's a very fun one. However, the weird sub-idea that comes off this is, what if the ominous key is used to unlock the portal in Deep Dark Cities? This is an idea which I think, again, to kind of temporarily go into speculation town, Minecraft are being really good at planning their updates in advance. This is something that, you know, it might sound like it's not important. Like, why do they need plans of the next 4 updates if they're only going to work on 1 and sometimes 2 at the same time? And it's so they can make these longer term plans, and a great example of this would potentially be the Ancient City portal. By introducing that portal with 1.19 and having all of the speculation about the big rectangle, which is, you know, suspiciously is called a portal, and also suspiciously is made up of unbreakable blocks in this weird rectangle, by suspiciously doing that and having the community speculate, it's not only good for the game because people question what it's going to be, is it going to be something you can make with these ominous keys, but more importantly, whenever they do add a use to it, they're going to be able to have it be an existing world, because anyone who's started a world since 2022 will have one of these lying below it, and that means that if these portals are really important for existing worlds, you'll probably find one somewhere. In fact, I probably have some below my Let's Play world. In fact, I know that I do. This is something that is really, really useful if they do have some greater plan. I'm not saying for sure they do. Their plan might even just be to make a plan, but this sort of forward thinking, and the same thing is true for Copper, I guess you could argue, is something which I think is actually pretty decent and gives, I think, more confidence of Mojang, which maybe brings us into this next comment, because Wither Cryptid 9259 says, IBX3Cat, be honest with me, are you being paid by Mojang? Because I swear you take their side with literally every single thing. Not that I think Mojang are always in the wrong, but it's just very suspicious how even when Mojang are at their worst, you keep defending them and saying what they're doing is for the greater
good. Not to mention, you regularly put down mods and add-ons as if merely being able to do more of the game than Mojang can is a sin, unless they're the new paid add-ons which actively benefit Mojang and make it even more suspicious. So I actually would like to respond to this comment. A lot of times people take a comment like this and say it's hate and, just ignore it, but I think this one comes from a fairly genuine place, and so I'll try to give you a general response. No, I can categorically say I am not being paid by Mojang, and if I was being paid by Mojang, I would have to disclose it. This is not only the rules of the ASA in the UK, but it's also what Mojang makes all of their partnered content do. So if you type up Minecraft CLP, I think that's Minecraft Content Lift Program, they do sponsor a lot of YouTubers, generally smaller ones. As you can see, both of the examples which come up are YouTubers with just 100 views on their videos, but they have paid dozens of creators to talk about the marketplace pass, and this is something which I did talk about too, but without any of that sponsorship. And also notably in my video, I didn't take as positive a tone as the people who got paid. I said that unless you were specifically going to buy some of the content that was in the pass already, it didn't necessarily make good value for money. This is something which Mojang would have been very unhappy with me saying, but I do believe that having my own editorial opinion on this channel is very, very important. I have turned down thousands of dollars for this, as we've discussed with the Raid Shadow Legends thing. They wanted me to say a script without any of the input from me, and so I turned down an offer worth thousands of dollars because I think the editorial integrity, i.e. your trust and my trust that the opinions we say on this channel are actually mine, is one of the things that is important here to how this whole thing works, and I hope that you agree with that. As regards to the actual specific criticism, why would I be against add-ons in general but then download the paid ones? The big reason for this is partially to let people know what the paid ones are like, but partially because of the fact that I know that only PC players can download add-ons. Some mobile players will, but it's mostly PC players, whereas a lot of my audience are console players who can only download the stuff which is on the marketplace. That's why the Hermitcraft map coming to the Bedrock marketplace was a big deal, even if it's not something I personally have any experience with, which shocks a lot of people sometimes. But yeah, there are kind of some big biases I do have. I think everyone does, and it's important to acknowledge them. One is towards the truth. I think the truth is something we are always trying to work towards. I try to get that as close to possible out in the world. My second is towards my audience. I think that you are important, and your opinions are the ones I try to share with Mojang when we do have public or private discussions. And then my third bias is probably towards the survival aspect of Minecraft. I think there are lots of ways that Mojang is trying to move towards those things, because the more temporary maps you download, the more marketplace money they make in the end, versus if you just have your long-term survival world, they make money from you once and maybe a monthly subscription if you have it on a realm, but that's generally the end of it. I think that that is a thing which I am pushing towards, which maybe will push me on the, kind of the partial side of impartial, but it's something that I just want you all to be aware of, and hopefully you know about it right now. Speaking of knowing about things right now, I had this really interesting theory which came in from a comment from Harrison, who, if you don't already know, is the lead editor on this channel, but he actually had an interesting theory about the entrance looking door, because Mojang have said they're not adding any other features to 1.21, and so the question is, what the heck is the entrance room there for? And the answer, at least according to Harrison, is maybe it's a room that you could break through and make your own staircase up to the surface for easier access into the chambers. Does anyone else have any other ideas on what it might be supposed to represent? I really like this idea. What if the area behind the entrance room was deliberately a big ventilation shaft, a kind of 3x3 space, so that you could easily get back up there, or maybe even some ladders that bring you up above the deep slate layer? I would love this as a concept. I would love if the entrance could somehow be more discoverable, so if you're mining alone, you have better ways to find it. I don't know if they're going to do it, and technically, it wouldn't be a new feature if they were going to play around with it, so for now, it's something I think we can hope for. Speaking of hoping, I hope this next comment is talking about Minecraft. But if you want to get it in Minecraft, sadly, Minecraft removed the free Legacy skin pack that could give you all of the old console edition exclusive skins, but you can get, with the Toycat Let's Play World, a version of my skin at the very least. Sadly, I don't think I can release the Ocelot, because Mojang obviously owns the rights to the Ocelot. It's a weird, messy thing, just like how you might find it messy if you were to have a breakup. My last Let's Play was about the breaking up and why you need to do it. It was kind of bringing Minecraft Let's Plays back to their original spirit of like some real hard life advice mixed in with some Minecraft gameplay, rather than saying, here's 100 hours of Minecraft and there's no time for anything, no time for breathing, just crazy stuff all of the time. I figured we could do a bit more of a serious one, and a lot of people resonated, but a lot of people said, oh, are you talking to me? Because damn, I guess I've got to break up, or why is everyone doing videos or shorts on breakups? Apparently, that must be the side of YouTube you're on. The algorithm knows that you're thinking about breakups, Sean Blanton. And finally, Fib says, Toycat, why would you say that when I'm coming up on the first anniversary of of my first real successful relationship? And the answer is, even if you don't choose to break up, if you at least have the consideration like, wow, we are happy together, as opposed to, oh, I guess we're stuck together, it's the only way, there's no way out here, I think you'll be happier. I think almost every decision in life is happier when it's voluntary, and hopefully that describes where your relationship is heading. And speaking of voluntary relationships, I've got a voluntary relationship with this last comment here, which is from Corkum 4337. They should make it so you get the heavy core from regular chambers. I don't want to have to take on ominous chambers, so it might make you feel better to know that ominous chambers aren't actually that hard right now. This is something King B Dogs has directly said. He said that he knows the balancing and numbers will feel quite off, and he just wants to know how people are feeling, and in general he made these big responses to that. A misconception is that more bad omen levels equals more challenge. Nope, there is only one level of trial omen. This is quite interesting and feels the tiniest bit inconsistent, but it is how it is. And then he also says that he thinks it's a good thing that they shouldn't increase the area of challenge 5 separate times. But yeah, the current ominous chambers aren't actually especially hard, and so they might rebalance them to be harder in the future, and at that point, hopefully they'll consider maybe there should be a rare chance, even if it's 10 times rarer, of getting a heavy mace from the vault. Personally, I think that would be fun. I know it's not a heavy mace, by the way, it's made from a heavy core, although you could argue, actually, if that's true, maybe it should be a heavy mace, because if you craft it from something heavy, it itself should be heavy too, right? And let me know in the comments if you agree. But more seriously, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you agree with the editorial policy and that you're excited for the next few months of tweaks and potentially not major features, but minor features for 1.21. And I do want to also say right here, if you agree with the idea that sometimes we have to turn down money from Mojang or indeed money from sponsors so that I can say the true words that I believe to be true, at least on this channel, that I hope that you consider supporting this channel. You can do that by either subscribing or notifications in the normal way, or by becoming a channel member. This is a monthly way to support the channel, and it will also get you access to a green name, this fun badge next to your name, and also you get access to a few member-only videos. So for example, there's a video that a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, in the Hermitcraft rundown, you didn't check out Decked Out. That was the main thing on the server. I did not know this. The point of it was to be blind, but that's what everyone has been saying, and I don't think making a whole second video just about playing a mini game inside of a map that is inside of, like, there's too many layers removed for that to make sense as a main channel video, but it can make sense as a member video for people who want to see that, and so that is one of the things that you'll be seeing as the member-only content over the next few months. It is something that I really want to say thank you to people becoming a member for, and I hope that those people who are members enjoy that content. But for now, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you for another more fun and serious Let's Play on Monday. Goodbye.